Hey there, Internet. Welcome to the Hard On Gear channel, where I discuss and review my used and abused knives and gear. So they say when you join the military, you have to sacrifice a lot. Nobody really explained that to me, or the fact that that sacrifice would involve 8 weeks of not being able to carry knives on me. That all might sound a little dramatic, and yeah, I'm playing it up a little bit, but to be quite honest, if you're the type of person like myself who've carried some kind of a knife on you from the time you were fairly young, like definitely from the time I was 8, 9, started carrying little Swiss Army knives around or whatever. But then from the time I was like 15, 14, I don't think there's been much more than a couple days where I haven't had a folding knife at least on me. So big transition for a lot of reasons going into basic training, but not being able to carry knives, that was annoying. There were so many times when I just instinctually went to grab my folder and go to slice a paracord or a zip tie or something like that. Crazy not being able to cut stuff when you're so used to always having tools on you that can cut things. So here I am. I just got through 8 weeks of that course, and they sent us home for a week's leave. Just the way things are working out. We have 2 more weeks of course, and then maybe a little bit of a break in between where we'll be working out and doing like a bunch of grunt work in between, whatever needs to get done. And then we'll start infantry school throughout the summer, and after that get sent to my first posting. So once we got a bit of an idea several weeks in that we can probably get away with having knives, they have the Gerber multi-tool, which is designed for the Canadian military. They've got the civilian version of it, but it's essentially a AR platform rifle multi-tool, kind of like the Leatherman Mutt, which I've just picked up and look forward to trying out. But they've got tools on them specifically for punching takedown pins or scraping carbon and doing stuff like that. But since that Gerber multi-tool hasn't been given out as frequently lately, they basically told us, like, yeah, you're going to want to have a knife of some sort and probably a multi-tool. So as soon as we got that word, myself and a couple other guys started going on Amazon. I ordered the Mora cans bowl fairly quickly. I also picked up the Gerber dime that was in the Canex, the store that the military has set up as a convenience store / got a little bit of gear items and stuff like that. And the Gerber dime, just something small and affordable, just to throw in my pocket so I had pliers and a knife, although the knife on this is pretty useless out of the box anyways. But anyways, so I had those 2 items for a week or 2. It gave me something, and of course the cans bowl being a quality Mora, very, very handy, and this thing was used quite a bit. And for that week and a half, I heard the amount of times I heard, hey, you have your knife, hey, can I borrow your knife? All the time, because I was one of the only guys who had one at that point in time. So everyone found out really quickly that how badly they needed a knife. So a few people grabbed some cheaper ones at that convenience store. A couple people ordered them. I got one of my platoon mates ended up ordering the Mora Bushcraft and trying that out. I got to talk to him to see how he's been enjoying that, if he's got to use it at all. So I've got the unboxing video of this where I talk about I got the Molly attachment, how I attach that to my tack vest and all that, if you want to check that video out. But once I had these for a week and a half, very happy to have them. I got a package in the mail from my father. I got him to send me some of my knives. So I was torn on which ones to get sent. I didn't want to overdo it, and we have to open your mail in front of the staff while you're in training, at least, just so they know you're not ordering contraband and stuff like that, liquor and guns and whatever. So I didn't want it to be in front of the wrong, because we got a couple staff members who are pretty hardcore, and they take advantage of the opportunity to mess you up. But I'm okay being teased, and if I'm being teased about having too many knives, I'm not too concerned. There's many worse things to be made fun of than being a fellow who has too many knives for his own good. So they showed up, pretty pumped. I ended up getting 3 folders, 1 fixed blade, and 2 multi-tools sent out to me, as well as some other maintenance gear. So first off, let's see. I was torn on what fixed blade. You might assume, and you wouldn't be crazy to think, that I would have got the Azula 2 sent out to me, and I was really tempted, but I didn't want to get too many fixed blades, and since I already had the cans bowl, I got the Tops Mill Spy Elite sent out. A little bit larger of a knife, and the handle down carry on my opposite hip, I really do like that with this, so I got the Tops Mill Spy Elite sent out, as well as the Leatherman Signal, which is my only full-size Leatherman tool until... Where'd that mutt go? Oh, there it is. How that disappeared, just like earth tones kind of blended right into my gear. So yeah, now that I've got that, that'll be my main. I don't even know if I'll bring this back with me, to be honest, but the mutt will be my new multi-tool I'll be having with me. But got the Signal sent out, also got the Pioneer X, It's got scissors, like a decent set of folding scissors on this multi-tool right here, I think, right? Yeah, this is one of the better set of multi-tool scissors I've seen and used. Very, very handy, very, very practical. So that's handy for a lot of reasons, just as a backup, or if you don't want to hand someone your nice knife, if somebody needs to use a knife. Pretty much everybody knows how to use a Swiss Army knife, and if they dull this blade up or bang it up or do something stupid, I'm not too worried about it. For folders, I kind of went 3 tiers. I went with a budget in case we were doing some crazy field stuff and didn't want to lose anything. The CRKT M16 03BS. I think I paid around 70, 80 bucks Canadian for this. It's the Sandvik steel model. A little bit more expensive than some of your cheaper M16s, but still in the realm of budget. Very popular military carry as well, so I figured it'd be worth getting sent out. One that I figured I'd carry on my gear a lot, especially because of the matching colors, the satin finish on the blade, a little bit revealing. But as far as in the pocket goes, the black pocket clip with the light green, not quite as dark as the camo pattern and stuff that we have on all of our gear, but it still blends in fairly well. But the LC200N version of the Pacific Salt 2 from Spyderco, basically impervious to rust and super easy just to put in your gear and forget about it, not have to worry about oiling it or really spending a lot of time cleaning it out. So very handy outdoor field knife that I carried quite a bit. Very lightweight as well, very low or thin profile. And the other one I got sent mostly for carrying in my jeans and to fidget with because I just love it so much. I only got it like a month or two before I left for training, is the Benchmade M4 Freak, also known as the Super Freak. Super Freak. So yeah, there's a couple of videos of me talking about the Super Freak, the unboxing, and a recent one, well, relatively recent, video of me talking about why this knife is just so awesome and why if you want a big beefy Benchmade with a decent quality steel that's not terribly expensive but not terribly affordable either, about 300 bucks for this knife, Canadian 300 bucks, around 250 I think in American dollars. Yeah, the M4 Freak comes highly recommended. So these are the knives I got sent out to me. The other things I got sent, the Work Sharp Field Sharpener. I also got a Lansky Blade Medic sent out. I don't know, I think I might have left that one over at my course on base. But I got that, this field sharpener, which is very handy. And I also got the Weehaw bit driver and bit selector sent out just to mess around with anything that I needed to with the Torx heads on all of this stuff. So that's what I got sent. And after 8 weeks of not having any knives on me, I was like a kid on Christmas. I straight up went like full on, like just super hyper nerd, like got right excited about it. Couldn't help myself. And you know, when you're at basic training and just everything's just kind of a bullshit fest and just a bunch of annoying stuff just to make you more mentally tough and all that. Little things like, just an example, like when we were allowed to go to the vending machines about 4 weeks in, something like that was like the biggest morale booster in the world, just having the freedom to go and get like a friggin' you know, a bunch of junk food or whatever, or just anything just to take your mind off of doing what all the stuff you had to do. When you get something you've been missing, like a bunch of freaking knives, which any of you knife nerds know, like if you don't have your knives for weeks and weeks on end and you get a bunch of them in the mail, just imagine how, yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, so I've carried, the M16 actually I haven't carried too much. I've lent it to a couple of people when we were doing different stuff, and people still don't have their knives yet that they'd ordered or were planning to get when they came off on leave. So that's been used a little bit. This has been carried a lot. I've carried this on the weekends whenever I'm in my civvy clothes, or sometimes in the evening around in the barracks. The Signal I've carried on my person a decent amount in the field, haven't had to use it yet. And the same thing for the Victorinox Pioneer X. I've been carrying in one of my zip-up pockets, just to have for backup in case I ever need it. Or in case somebody wants to borrow a knife and I don't trust them using one of my nicer knives. The Milspy Elite, I've used it a decent amount. It's been on my hip almost all the time and it's come in handy. I've used this probably half a dozen times. The dime has not been used for anything other than prying and getting into cleaning places that I'm not going to talk about because I'd be liable to tell you what I was doing with it. But essentially I was using this for a piece of metal, and just, yeah, don't do what I was doing with this thing. So the paint's a little scraped up, but I haven't actually used the tools for anything yet. The cans bowl has had some chips near the edges, especially towards the tip, because I was, again, prying and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing with this, trying to get something open. And now that I've got Leatherman and stuff, I should be fine. I shouldn't have to do that anymore, but I did take the the nicks out of that. But this has gotten a decent amount of use, but still not crazy field use, but you can see it's got some adhesive and some scrapes and scratches on it. Yeah, so that's the loadout currently, and I'll be bringing back, oh geez, let's talk about it right now. What will I be bringing back with me? So in addition to this, I'm probably, will I leave the Leatherman signal? I might leave the signal. I don't know if there's a reason for me to take it back because I've got the mutt now. So I'm probably going to leave the signal. Am I going to leave anything else? I'll probably take everything else back with me that I kept, including the work sharp and the Topsmall Spy Elite. Bring in the Azula, probably with both sheaths because I like that ulti clip. Oh, one knife that I would love to have gotten shipped out to me, but I didn't want to have to open in front of one of the staff members, like a Master Corporal or Sergeant, is this awesome tactical Tor Anaconda, which I've been wearing on my person every day since I've been home. And it's just so nice and so awesome and so unnecessary. Will I be carrying this on my person in basic training or during infantry school? Probably not. Will I carry this in civvy clothes sometimes as my main EDC fixed blade? Probably so. So we'll see. Maybe I stick it on a vest because it is, with the convex edge and the profile of the blade, an extremely good, handy EDC knife. I don't really want to push those boundaries and be that guy. So we'll see. When I feel like I've earned the ability to put cool shit on my vest for actual practical purposes when they actually might come in handy, maybe I'll do that. For now, the way I had this mounted on my vest, I feel was 100% practicality and not at all trying to look like a friggin' cool guy. So despite people thinking, oh, you think you're cool with that knife on your vest? Yes, partially yes I do. But more than anything, it's the most practical place for me to be able to reach it with either hand and not have it in the way of any of my other gear. Especially with tack vest and a rucksack on, putting a knife on your belt isn't always the best place to have it because it gets pretty damn hard to reach. So any other knives I'll be bringing back with me? I might bring the Delica now that I've got that from trade from East Coast Kid Tack. It's small. It could get stuck into a lot of backup places in a backpack or just in my kit somewhere. The Griptilian, great knife. A little bit large to have as like an extra backup knife. Good for a lot of things. A little bit more losable, and I mean like affordable to lose than the Super Freak if I wanted to carry a bigger, nicer knife on me. But this is going to be one more for size comparisons and maybe just a good work knife to carry around if I don't want to carry my really expensive ones. And I do want to try 154 cm. So there's a chance I might bring this along and just stick it in the kit just for comparison videos and just to get some pocket time with it. But we'll see. Other than that, I might bring the paramilitary too. Maybe the, where's the Mannix 2? So I might bring the Mannix 2 and the paramilitary 2, two of my favorite folders, more so the Mannix 2 than the paramilitary 2. But I want to do a comparison video between these two. So the other part about bringing some of these knives is so that I can do comparison videos and get to try some of these out now that I've got my phone back on the weekends and I might have some downtime on the weekends, hopefully. So yeah, there is definitely a chance that some of these are going to get brought along with me just as extras and shoved away in a box somewheres and maybe get a little bit of field time. So anything else to talk about, anything else to discuss? As far as the course goes, I'll discuss more about that once I'm done the actual basic training course and then after infantry school. I'm going to be careful about what I say on here as far as disclosing parts of the course and what's going on. All I'll say is this. I signed up for the infantry. Everyone in my course, all the students signed up for the infantry. All of the staff on course are either infantry, artillery, armor, or combat engineers. So they're all combat vets. Or, sorry, not combat vets. Combat arms, several of which are Iraq and Afghanistan combat vets. At least half of the staff have all been to either Ukraine or Latvia at least once. They're all pretty serious, and they all know their shit. And they take us serious in the fact that they don't let us get away with much. So I'll say this. There's been nothing easy about that course, and there's been nothing that makes me think they don't care about the outcome of their students. They're making sure we're ready, and they've been holding us to a high standard, which is exactly what I wanted when I went there, when I signed up for the military. Certainly times when we're beating our head against a wall and just like, why are they making us do it like this? A lot of it is just to make us more mentally resilient and to get us used to the fact that life is sometimes full of crap. that you don't really agree with or that you don't want to have to do. And you just have to do it anyways. Keep your head down and suck it up. And as they say in all the military world, embrace the suck. And you got a good bunch of folks, which we do have a pretty good bunch of people in our platoon to embrace the suck with. Makes it not that bad. So a lot of dark humor coming up already. A lot of appreciation for simple little things in normal life. Like for this last week or so that I've been home, I've caught up on sleep, I've caught up on some paperwork, done my taxes, and other than that, visited a few friends, seen some family, and pretty much just sat around and relaxed and just enjoyed the slow pace of not anything going on. So I spent the day here now recording a bunch of videos to try and get somewhat caught up and ahead on that. Going to do some packing and reorganizing of my stuff. Other than that, I'm enjoying the rest of this downtime because one thing with at least our staff that we have for our basic course, there is no downtime. There's really no free time to do anything. On the weekends, you get to relax a little bit, and a lot of the time it's spent catching up on sleep or catching up on laundry or cleaning or just trying to get some mental clarity back. Just even watching Netflix or just trying to relax or do anything that doesn't involve go, 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 and then go faster, and you're not going fast enough. Why aren't you going fast enough? So it's been interesting. It's pretty much exactly what I expected it to be, at maybe a little bit harder end of the spectrum, only because modern day military, you hear maybe he's gotten softer, but our core staff sure hasn't. So all that's all good. Looking forward to getting the course done. I don't want to say I'm having a ton of fun. There's definitely some fun aspects of it, and if you're into that military cover and move tactical kind of stuff, which is I'm looking very forward to learning more of the actual tactics and procedures. It's hard. There's nothing easy about it. Even the fun, cool guy stuff requires a lot of physical effort and mental resiliency. So we'll see how it all goes. I'm still very much expecting that this is where I should be right now, and I feel very content with my decision. Just be happy to get training done and get on to infantry school, then on to my first posting sometime this fall. So any more questions or anything else you want to know, you feel free to comment below and I'll fill you in on what I can while still trying to keep certain confidentiality things, like kind of, I was trying to stay in the good graces of my new employers and keep myself from getting in trouble with this or anything, channel related. So yeah, check out any of the other videos, unboxings, comparisons, all the other stuff be popping up on the side panel. For now, that'll be it for this one. Again, get in touch, Instagram, hardongearchannel, or hardongearchannel@gmail.com. Thanks for watching this one. We'll see you on the next one. This is the Hard On Gear channel signing off.